Willkommen zurück zu Head as Code. Im letzten Part haben wir ein paar neue Charaktere kennengelernt. Und zwar kennen wir jetzt anscheinend jeden Charakter, der im Spiel wichtig sein wird. Wir kennen den alten Mann, wir kennen die Frau, die nicht hören oder sehen kann, wir kennen den Grumpy Man, wir kennen Jasmine, wir kennen Marco und wir kennen die beiden Mädels, die H und G heißen. Wer wär's? Keine Ahnung, aber einer ist G, einer ist H anscheinend. So, und jetzt dürfen wir uns entscheiden, mit wem wir reden wollen. Ich gehe erstmal zu den besten Freunden, denn wir mögen ja Jasmine und wir mögen auch Marco. I joined back with Jasmine and Marco while he was giving a monologue about Ray. So he woke up and he asked me what was going on, and then followed up with a bunch of angry questions. Obviously, I couldn't answer any of them. Hey, figured something out yet? Oh no, I was just talking about my awakening. Yeah, we all woke up at different times. Given, we couldn't have all come here in the same train if only one compartment opens its doors. We easily could have, but we wouldn't have been in Paris then. Yeah, speaking of Ray, I know him. I've seen him before. That was interesting to me. Und glaub mir, die Stimmen sind wieder weg. Die Stimmen sind teilweise weg. Ich hoffe, die neuen sind gut. Maybe this was a link between all of us. I knew Jasmine and Marco, then the twins knew each other, and both A and E knew each other too, apparently. If Marco knew Ray, then maybe something would tie the twins, A and E, back to someone else too. Marco stopped talking though. He was staring blankly behind Jasmine and me. What's going on here? The screen's full of noise. I took a glance at it and noted he was right. Everyone was gathering to see what was going to appear in it, so I figured his explanation about Ray would have to wait until later. Let's go. It's probably super important. We went for it, joining the others standing in front of the screen. When I joined the others, I quickly made an inventory of everyone's states of being. The twins were holding their hands over their eyes, since the noise... ears. Macht doch mehr Sinn. Since the noise was pretty loud. Honestly, I was close to doing much of the same. Jasmine and Marco watched it, waiting expectantly. Of everyone, they were the calmest of the bunch. Ray was being aggravated by it. His hands were curled up in fists, as if he was about to punch the thing into next Tuesday. He didn't seem any different than usual. Granted, she was deaf, which explained why she couldn't hear it. A was slightly nervous, despite his usual continence. I prepared myself for what would be shown, both of my hands closing in fist. Once the noise cleared up, someone showed up on the screen. He had a strange mask on, which seemed to cover his entire head. Just as strangely, he was dressed in a cultist robe and his hands were completely covered with bandages. I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. Smile and shine, everyone. I am Smiley. Please listen carefully to all that I will say, as I will not repeat it. You will be missing crucial details to your survival if you choose to ignore me. I looked at the others briefly. Everyone seemed as puzzled as I was, except for E. A would have to communicate everything to her afterwards, most likely. The distorted voice resumed speech. You are in the metro, Montreal's underground transit system. Much like how Montreal survives on its population, you are my lifeblood. Your goal is to win this game. We will play together. The dating game. I understand the game cannot be won without a set of predefined rules, so 3 will be given to you, as many as the laws of robotics. The first one will follow this brief explanation of an important element. You all have a color with a number on each of them. Specifically, the numbers 1 through 8. To see those numbers, you will need someone else to push the red button on the back, which is when it will temporarily appear. This color is extremely important, as it is both your salvation and your demise. You are 8 participants, but none of you can, as you are now, pass through any of the numerous gates leading back outside. The reason is simple. Your colors do not show the number 9. This will be rule number 1. To escape this place, you must team up with an additional person. If you break this rule by leaving through one of the many scanner gates before you find them, you will be severely punished. So, we have to find a 9th person, team up with them, and then we can leave? Shh, it's important. Smiley continued as if this was Sony recording. Once you figure out the person who will help you leave, 2 among you will be allowed to do so. As for rule number 2, it is closely tied to the name of this game. The dating game. As you may have realized if you remembered how you arrived here, it's meant to bring you to numerous stations in pairs. On every single station except for the one you are currently on. You are forbidden to enter the staircase with more than one partner. Breaking this rule will instantly punish you as well. Even though you can take the train and stop at any station, the train will not leave unless you have solved the station it stops at, or a group of 2 leaves the train and the door closes behind them. In essence, you must solve each station as they come. For now, you may only go in one direction, unless you would like to take your chances by crossing over the rails. I would strongly suggest against it. It is not forbidden, but if a train should arrive at the same moment, your death will be a terrible accident. It's looking at progress. And for rule number 3, it is more of a piece of information than a rule. If you are to be punished, it will always be in the same way. Decapitation. The words sent a tremor of anxiety throughout the group. H and G were both horrified. Jasper was strangely blank, and Marco's arms were crossed. On the other side, A was frowning, and Ray was fuming angrily. I did say that the colors were 2 things, your salvation and your demise. The interior has that feature you cannot see from the outside. A red lining, which is the demise part. Breaking any of the rules will cause that lining to form a full circular laser, which will detach your head and cauterize the wound. I wouldn't want to make any more of a mess than necessary. As a part of this rule, you're also forbidden from breaking this collar. If it determines enough force to supply, it will punish you. I believe I have spoken long enough. Please do not underestimate the collars you wear. They are made of a nigh indestructible alloy. Even the strongest among you will not survive the punishment. Let us wish you never see me on the screen again, because my smile, it's a smile that can kill. And just like that, the screen shut down. Everyone seemed rather panicked. Sweat was dripping off my forehead at the thought that this was actually real, and I had a death machine installed around my neck. We're gonna die, aren't we? It's okay, sis. I'll protect you against that chucklefuck. Well, this sucks big time. Can anybody here call a helicopter? You think a helicopter's going to help?
You moron! We're underground if you didn't notice.
Hey, I was just making a joke.
Is this a time to make a joke?
It is of no use to lose the calm, everyone.
I agree. We can't let this bother us, or we've already lost. Please don't panic until we make sense of this. But right as we got it towards, instead reached for his collar. He slid his thumbs underneath it with great effort, as the collar was snug against his neck.
Fuck that. I'm gonna destroy this bullshit collar. I don't care what this smiling fucker told us. The shit is tiny and should break in seconds.
Wait, that's really not a good idea. But he was already pulling on it. Almost immediately, the back of his collar lit up like a red alarm. Instantly released it, realizing that it indeed was a strong alloy.
Ah, fuck! I'm not dying here, you hear me? Stop this shit right now, I get it!
Everyone watched from the sidelines, but ultimately, the alarm stopped. Ray seemed to have gotten lucky. He leaned over, looking extremely tired. I couldn't blame him.
Just be grateful it didn't go through with it. I think next time it won't be so lenient.
Ray grumbled something, but I changed the subject to something more important to the matter of hand, while he went to punch the door, without any results. Did you guys notice how he speaks? How he spoke? It was like a recording, like that was said a while ago.
What's the problem with that? I sure wouldn't want to do this live if it was me doing it. I'd be stressed out like hell.
No, consider the reason why it's said that way. What if it's because he's among us? I realized that might have not been the most intelligent thing to say as panic rippled through the group. Everyone looked at each other, not sure who to trust. A came back from this talk with E. He told her what Smiley said, most likely.
That is possible. I suppose we will need to keep our eyes open then.
That was ironic coming from him.
That guy, he kinda has Grace built, doesn't he? Maybe it's him.
Why would I put myself into a death trap? Think before you speak. And my name's not Gray, it's Ray. You said two dumb things back to back.
I thought it was pretty good for a joker, at least. Maybe the twin was trying to lift the mood a little. Jasmine sighed very loudly and shook her head.
No, I don't think we could tell so easily. The fact they look big only means it could be any of us wearing a number of things to appear bigger. Could be, for example, S.
Hey! Was recht?
Wearing a bunch of foam under a robot to appear bigger, standing on stilts to appear taller. And then you've been had, thinking it's Ray.
Yeah, that. See? She's not dumb at least.
But more importantly, I know none of you trust anyone else now, but we need to do what he says. We need to check our collars and take the train.
That's right. We still don't know our numbers. Let's do that. Very quickly, we all checked each other's numbers. Number 1 to 4 were G, me, Marco, and A respectively. H, Ray, E, and Jasmine were number 5 through 8. Oh, just as we thought. No one had the number 9. Strangely, true. Color numbers also had a color. G had green, I had blue, Marco had orange, A had yellow. E? Ach ja, der alte Mann. Ich war verwirrt. H had aqua, Ray had white, E had red, and Jasmine had purple. I mean, das macht Sinn.
Of course it wouldn't be so easy, huh? And what of these weird colors?
Oh, das war ich. Of course it wouldn't be so easy, huh? And what of these weird colors? Bin zurück. Da.
It wouldn't be much of a game if we could solve it in seconds.
While we checked our collars, a train slowly arrived at the station. It Its doors opened, like a yawning abyss representing our futures. After several moments of inertia, I asked what everyone was thinking. Is the train waiting for us? Jasmine stared at me accusingly. I shrugged in retaliation. I was the one who opposed that thought earlier, but maybe it was true.
Well, we don't have a choice. I don't think anybody really wanted to go down the tunnel earlier, and this is safe enough at least.
Ray grunted in dissatisfaction.
Let's split into 4 groups of 2 then. I think for many of us, this would be rather easy to determine.
Fuck that. If I end up with that mighty fuckhead, what if they get me, huh?
You're the one who's afraid of that. But no, you're wrong. It's safer this way actually, because listen, if we're in a group of 2 and someone comes back alone, what does it mean, you think? That's right. The only one who comes back will be super suspicious. I don't think anyone will act out if we all take a station at the same time. Which means, this is the best course of action.
Marcus changed the subject, inquiring about the location instead.
This side of the station, it's going towards the north side, right?
It wouldn't make any sense if it went the other way, that's true.
We're going north then.
We've been heading towards the north earlier after all. If we left the train, we were on the east side of the station.
Let's go in. If we stay here too long, we'll die of hunger or dehydration. Or even worse if something else happened.
Like a fight breaking out, I thought. With Ray around, that was possible. He already looked angry again.
The sooner we're out, the earlier we can return to our lives, right? For now, at the very least, I'm in favor of doing that what Smiley says. Otherwise, we can't get out right now. Do you get it now, Ray? HG? You both good? What about you, A? Are you good with E?
All of them nodded. The groups naturally split up among those who arrived together. H went with G, A was the only one who could communicate with E, so he went with her. And for us, it was actually more complicated. I could go with Jasmine or Marco, but Ray would be alone. However, if we were meant to split up depending on our links, then we didn't need to go with Marco. What sort of link could Jasmine and Ray have shared?
Hey, Earth respond.
Huh?
You can split the team any way you like. I don't mind if you pick who should go with Ray.
Yeah, who has to babysit him? Ray narrowed his eyes in his direction. Yeah, I didn't trust Marco with Ray in the end. I felt like a fight would really break out if I put them together, which meant I really didn't have much of a choice. I felt like Jasmine could handle whatever Ray could throw at her way, so I went with Marco. Besides, maybe this was how the pairs were meant to be. We all had the link somehow. No, wait, wouldn't it be the other way? I know Jasmine for far longer than I know Marco. Huh? What was I thinking all of a sudden? Was I trying to crack some kind of weird code? It's like I was taking pleasure at solving the situation. I shook my head to clear it up. Maybe I'd just been underground for too long if this kind of kidnapping was any fun to me. Okay, Jay, you're with Ray, and I'll go with M. Is that fine with it by you? She slowly nodded at me. For some reason, I felt as though she was dissatisfied with the outcome despite having given me the choice. At least then Ray and Marco wouldn't fight. Everyone had their team set now. Since we couldn't access the other side of the station, there was only one direction we could take. The twins entered the train first. Aber das ist seltsam, weil eigentlich waren wir doch da mit Jasmine zusammen, nicht Marco. After noting it wasn't moving yet, my group followed suit. I figured the system was automated to some degree, or maybe the mastermind behind all this could see us. A shiver ran up my spine at the thought. Were there scanners on the door or something? Cameras we couldn't see? Suddenly I grew very self-conscious.
Don't think too much about it. I did earlier and, well, things didn't go well for my head.
She sighed in discouragement, closing her eyes for a moment. I wordlessly agreed with her. The doors closed and we were greeted by a pre-recorded speech telling us what the next station was. Braking station, garden manager. With all this, I had almost forgotten. The train had French diction here. It seemed the next station was a guard manger, whatever that was. Normally I just sit down and stare blankly at the wall to see which of us would blink first, but since we were just a handful, I figured some chatter wouldn't hurt. The big question was about the best topic to pick. Oh boy, das machen wir im nächsten Part, denn ich denke mal, das kann ein bisschen was bringen hier. Aber das wird auch ein bisschen Storyline, deswegen warten wir ein bisschen. Ich danke fürs Zugucken und ich hoffe, es gefällt euch. Im nächsten Part machen wir weiter mit Head as Code. Wer glaubt ihr ist der Mastermind? Wenn ihr es wisst, keine Spoiler bitte, denn ich will selbst rausfinden. Dann bis nächstes Mal und tschüss!